Hey y'all, my name is Hannah. I'm currently a senior gold ambassador with Plexus, and I'm so excited to be here sharing with you guys some information that'll be pretty helpful when it comes to duplication. Okay, duplication is a word that can make us immediately sound overwhelmed, but I'm here to debunk that theory. Okay, so think about your big picture. Okay, when it comes to duplication, is it that we should be doing more, or should we be doing less in a better way? Okay, sometimes less is more, and in this case less is definitely more. So the key to getting your team to repeat your model of leadership is to keep your systems simple. Imagine if somebody approached you with an opportunity like Plexus, and you found the products you wanted, got started, and then automatically here comes an absolute typhoon of information about duplication and what you need to do, this, that, and the other. Immediate overwhelm, right? I know I've overwhelmed myself just thinking about it. So keep your system simple. You don't have to, introduce all of them at once, but less is more when it comes to creating a good flow from leveling up from customer to ambassador to business builder, okay? When it comes to showing your people what to do, it's one thing to teach somebody and tell them, but it's something totally different to show them. So we should be modeling to them what they need to do, okay? If you're consistent, your team is going to be consistent by default because they're looking to you as their leader. And if you're regularly posting, you're talking in your stories, you are making connections without immediately jumping into a Plexus conversation, they're going to start doing that because they're like, wait a minute, this is working for her and she's helped me and I'm just going to do what she's doing. It's that simple. So I cannot express to you enough how important it is to show up as you really are, okay? It's okay if you show up messy. I do it all the time. People relate to messy because off of this social media thing, nobody's perfect. This is a highlight reel, y'all, okay? And if you are willing to be level with people and take a selfie with your hair sticking up in the air, maybe it's your second cup of coffee because it's just one of them days, talk about it. It doesn't matter what you look like in your stories. Just talk to people. I am really, really good at showing up authentically messy. Mainly because it's just part of who I am, okay? But people are going to love that and they're going to relate to that and they're going to feel like they're in a safe space because they're like, hey, this is a human who's not afraid of letting the world know she's human, okay? Do not overcomplicate things or your team will freeze. And by freeze, I mean they're going to stop right where they're at. They're not looking forward. They're not necessarily looking backward, but they're frozen. They're like, okay, I've gotten this far, and now things are getting a little bit complicated. I just gonna sit right here. Okay, don't be complicated. When they say that this business and these systems take work, but they're simple, it's the truth. These concepts need to be simple. It's not gonna come to you, on a silver platter. You're gonna have to work for it, but it's simple. Daily methods of operation need to be simple, and duplication thrives on rhythm, okay? You need to share about your life. Share about the products too, but let people get a little sneak peek of behind the scenes, what you've got going on. It's spring coming into summer. Are you planting a garden? Are you into sourdough? Are you into cooking, baking, maybe sewing? Maybe you like to read, whatever it is, just let people see that and sprinkle Plexus in. The worst thing in the world that you could do is turn your social media into a billboard for Plexus. I am somebody who, when I see somebody's Facebook and it's bam, 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 bam of a product, a company, and that's all that I see, that kind of sort of makes me feel like, okay, they're not really here to share about themselves. They're not anyone that I can really connect with because I don't know anything about this company. I don't really know anything about them because they're not sharing it either. I'm just going to scroll on, right? And we want people to stop their scroll and pay attention. Connect to people first. And I hate to break it to you, but connection does not come through a Plexus pitch. It doesn't come from a cold message into an inbox saying, hey girl, have you seen my Plexus products? Probably. Now, in some occasions, they may not have due to the algorithm, but 9 times out of 10, people have seen it. But if that is what you lead a conversation with, you have already revealed your motive. You know, if you are sales motivated rather than connection motivated, it will come through in your communication every time. So be mindful. Invite people. We're not showing up in their inbox saying, hey, you need to come listen to this event, right? We are inviting. We're just putting information out there. When we have Zooms, when we have messenger threads and things like that, we're offering an extension like, hey, come sit in the room, or the e-room if it's on Messenger, right? Just sit in the room, pull up a chair to the table. You're welcome here, you know? We'd love to share about it. It might be for you, it may not be, but we would love to have you here regardless. That opens the door. It makes people feel like, okay, there's no commitment here for just entering the room and hearing the information. And even if it's not an immediate conversion for you, you've planted a seed. And that's going to be a thought. And if something happens in the next few days to a week, and they're like, you know what, maybe I do need to look into gut health, things like that, they're going to remember you. Not because you led with a pitch and threw Plexus at them all over your feed, but because you offered an invitation just to hear more. So keep that in mind. We do not need 20-step systems. We need simplicity and integrity. Use tools, okay? We can talk all day long about how much we love the products, how they've helped us, our testimony. We can send 15-minute voice clips. Do not recommend, by the way. But send them a video. Send them a Meet Plexus or, a Zoom recording if they couldn't miss it. Send them a testimony video. Send them a before and after. Plug them in to a Learn More event. Just give them something that also offers third-party validation. Because we can sit here, I can sing Plexus's praises all day long to somebody, but they might just be sitting there waiting like, okay, well, I know that you use Plexus and you work with Plexus, but who else? I need to hear it from more people. Plug them into a 3-way chat. I cannot emphasize that enough. Introduce them to your sponsor. Even if they're not a conversion yet, plug them in that chat and let us share our experiences. Put them with a sideline sister. Let them, you may have 2 totally different testimonies. Somebody might be gut health and weight related. Someone might be skin and hair and energy. All important aspects of health, but that's just a greater way to show a broader spectrum of what Plexus can do, and it offers that third-party validation. So that is a tool that is often underutilized. Been there, done that, and I can say on the other side of it, it does make a big difference when you just plug people in. Just do it. Focus on people rather than perfection. If you focus on perfection, I hate to break it to you, you're never going to get there because there's no such thing. Whatever level you achieve, there's always something beyond it. You just need to strive to focus on people and you will grow along the way. It's not your job to create perfect network marketers. Your team is a beautiful collection of all different kinds of people, likely all different ages, stages of life, backgrounds, education, careers, but they are not to be duplicates of you. Your job is to build confident people who can believe that they can do this, not to create many versions of you. There's already one you, and you need to you the you out of you and let other people be who they are in this business. Celebrate the small wins, which, by the way, there's no such thing as small. They're all wins. If you've got somebody who just got their first level 1 VIP, you better shout them out for it, okay? Somebody goes silver, shout it out. Somebody may not have signed anybody up yet, but they have an amazing testimony. Shout them out. They're being consistent with their products. That's something that a lot of people can't say. So shout them out for that. Every win is a win, okay? And what we may perceive as small may actually be really, really, really big to them. And when you recognize that and they know that you see that, that's going to make a world of difference. And the last thing that I can say, circling back to we're not creating duplicates of ourselves when it comes to creating leaders. If your team has to create many versions of you in order to run seamlessly, you're never going to duplicate. If you're doing all the things, if you're doing all the shout outs for your ambassadors, if you're doing all the things all the time to make sure it's your way until they learn to be you, you're never going to grow, period. You want them to become a leader version of who they are. There are all different kinds of people who are jewels in this business. There's healthcare workers, there's stay-at-home moms, there's teachers, you name it. There's men, there's women. They didn't get there by finding someone who is already there and just becoming them. Because in that process, not only do you not grow a business with integrity, you lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, you lose your drive, your motivation, etc. So you be the leader that you already are and help cultivate your team beneath you of leaders perfectly as they are. And you are going to have one heck of a melting pot of amazing people with a common goal of gut health, hope, and happiness. Thank you all for listening to me yap today, and be sure to leave a comment of your biggest takeaway, and I wish you a happy rest of your month.